And hi everybody, how are we all doing? I hope we're having a good weekend so far. So today is Saturday the 21st of December 2013. I was about to say 2012 there for some strange reason. First day of winter, with it being the shortest day of the year, aka winter solstice. Obviously Christmas and the holidays is just around the corner and all that sort of stuff. So pre-warning for you, this video is likely to be very, very long. So if you're still sticking around for it, you've got nothing better to do, and I feel sorry for you. Although I really shouldn't be saying that, because I'm the one making this video, so therefore I'm the one that's the sad one for even making it in the first place. But then, if I didn't make it, you guys wouldn't have anything to watch, so really it's all things relative. It's a vicious circle at the end of the day. Sorry that I'm just going completely rambling, sorry. Alright, so a few things to talk about here. I haven't done a video like this in a long time. I can't remember the last time I actually did a geeky update random type video like this. It's been a while, so let the madness unfold, shall we? First of all, for anyone expecting any Arrow character spotlight videos, there won't be any until the show returns in January. So yeah, do apologise. I know I should have said that last week when I did my last one for Tommy Merlin, but yeah, I thought it'd probably be best to actually keep it in line with the show's schedule. So when the show returns on January the 15th, later on that weekend, I will then do the next Arrow character spotlight for you. Thank you. So first things first, let's have a quick talk about the Man of Steel sequel. There's obviously been a lot of hype, talk, buzz, the usual shebang, people not liking what's going to happen, who's appearing, this, that and the other. So earlier this week it was announced that Joaquin Phoenix is being considered by Warner's to appear in the film, possibly as Lex Luthor. Not confirmed yet, but I can see him playing Lex. I mean, if you saw his work that he did in Gladiator, I thought, in that it was ruthless, and you saw how he was with the chemistry that they had with Russell Crowe was pretty good as well, and you know, it shows that he can do a villain role pretty well. So we'll see. If it is going to be Lex, it'll be interesting, that's for sure. Obviously, as we know, Gal Gadot is going to be playing Wonder Woman. There's been talks that they are going to tweak the Man of Steel costume. I can see a lot of people saying, oh, please bring back the red pants. To be honest, I really don't want them to bring back the red pants. I like the costume as it is without the red pants, because it does work, okay? I mean, we've had different variations of the costume over the years, not just on TV and movie, but in comics as well. And many of them have been pantless, well, without the trunks anyway, as I would like to say. You know, many variations of the costume haven't featured the trunks whatsoever. So for people to turn around and say, oh, they should bring back the red underwear, well, what reason is there to bring it back other than the fact that you want it to look like the Christopher Reeve costume? This isn't Christopher Reeve and Richard Donner's universe anymore. This is Zack Snyder's universe. This is what he's bringing to the table. So let's just accept it, suck it up, and move on. Okay, you know, I've actually decided to no longer read comments on the likes of Superhero Hype or Superman homepage, because I'm sick to death of seeing other geeks bash not just Man of Steel but other movies that have made changes to the mythologies of their characters over the years. You know, they will take every opportunity that they can to give a swipe at it, and it's like, well, you know what, you guys make me sick to even call myself a geek at times. It's like, why do I even want to associate myself with people like that? You know, if you're going to be negative about it, then be negative, but then just say it once and then leave it at that and move on. Accept the changes. If you don't want to accept the changes, that's fine. You are entitled to your opinion, but if you keep going on and on and on and on about it, I don't want to hear it. It's that simple. So yeah, but yeah, so there's going to be changes to the costume. We'll see what changes are being made. They are finalising the Batman and Wonder Woman suits as well, so it'll be interesting to see how Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot will turn out in their respective costumes as well. What else have we got? Obviously, production is pretty much almost ready to begin for the Man of Steel sequel movie. Obviously, the Kent farm is just about ready. Michigan is going to be the central place for the actual movie itself. I think they're going to be filming there from February to about August, so a good chunk of the movie's production is going to take place in Michigan, which is interesting, which is also going to be good for Michigan as well in terms of business and whatnot as well. What else have we got here? The other thing I noticed was I was scrolling through Google Plus the other day, and I came across a post, and someone had actually written Man of Steel Trinity, and I was like, that would actually be a really good title for the film, because it's got the focus on Man of Steel, obviously, with Superman, with the title at the beginning, and then the secondary title being Trinity, so that you know that Wonder Woman and Batman are also going to be in the film. And it's like, it's good and bad. It's good because for us comic book geeks, we know exactly who's going to be in the films, but then it's bad for the average moviegoer who are going to be thinking, Trinity, what the hell's the Trinity? You know, who are the Trinity, or what is Trinity, or who is Trinity? Whereas we know that the Trinity are Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman, being the big three of DC Comics. So I think that could work. I still say either World's Finest or maybe Public Enemies could be a good fit, but if you're going to have Wonder Woman, you might as well put in Trinity or have something of that variation in the movie's title. But again, as I say, if it has Man of Steel at the beginning, then we know and 100% certain that, hey, this is Superman's film, but we're bringing in other characters at the same time, you know, just to get them started as such. Obviously, there's still rumours that Flash may appear. Even Jason Momoa, aka the new Conan the Barbarian, is been lined up for a role as well. He has been cast, but we don't know who he's going to play. Speculation is either Martian Manhunter, Lobo, which I think could work, and even Doomsday to a degree. So who knows what his role is going to be. So he could even be Metallo for all we know. You know, he could even be Brainiac, you know. So there are 5 possibilities as to who he could be in the film. So Martian Manhunter, Lobo, Doomsday, Metallo, and Brainiac. Who knows? One of those 5, we'll see. I think he's got a better fit for Lobo, to be honest. But if they're not going to go down that road, then I'll definitely say Martian Manhunter. Though I will still prefer Doug Jones for Martian Manhunter, to be perfectly honest with you. Just because he can do alien creatures really well. He can do, you know, he works when he's in character. He's in character. He's like Daniel Day-Lewis. He's a method actor basically, and that's what I love about Doug, is that he has the physique. He can wear all the makeup possible that you can throw at him, and he will look menacing. And I think he could definitely be a good fit for Martian Manhunter. But again, we'll see. We'll see what Warners have cooked up for Jason. So moving on, we're going to talk a bit about Arrow now. Obviously, the show ended with its mid-season cliffhanger, where we see Barry Allen hit by lightning due to the particle accelerator. I didn't expect it to be in that form. I knew that the particle accelerator, was hoping that the particle accelerator will have some impact in Barry becoming the Flash, but I didn't expect it on that sort of scale. It was a huge scale for me, to be honest. Just seen the promo for the return of the series, which comes back on January 15th, and obviously the next episode is titled Blast Radius. We're seeing Oliver trying to track down who Brother Blood is. It looks like Sebastian and Laurel are going to be, you know, an item as such. There's going to be a face-off between Oliver and Sebastian as well. Obviously, we learned at the end of the last episode, 3 Ghosts, that Slade Wilson is behind the setting up of the serum for Brother Blood and his army. There was even mention that, which I thought was pretty cool, that perhaps the serum that is being used, you know, that is by Slade Wilson and Brother Blood, could well be used for the League of Assassins, because we know that they've already appeared on the show. Ra's al Ghul's name has been bandied about a few times. Whether or not he's going to make an appearance is another matter, but one of his daughters will be making an appearance. It's not Talia, it's his other daughter. Is it Nissa or Nyissa, I believe? So she's going to make an appearance on the show. So it would be interesting to see how, from January till the end of the season, how everything's going to unfold, because League of Assassins, Brother Blood, Black Canary, you know, Slade Wilson in there as well. Malcolm Merlin is back, and if you've watched my Arrow character spotlight for Tommy Merlin, you will know that I've mentioned that with the title of the last episode being three ghosts: Ghosts of Christmas Past, Ghosts of Christmas Present, and also Future. Shadow was the past, Slade is the present, Tommy Merlin could be coming back, because if he's the future, who knows? Is he alive? Has he been brought back from the dead? We don't know, but it's possible. And if Malcolm Merlin can do it with using the Lazarus Pits, what's to stop him from having the same thing done to his son? Or maybe someone else has brought Tommy back without Malcolm's knowledge, and it could well be Ra's himself. Maybe Ra's is the one who has brought Tommy back to teach Malcolm a lesson, because Malcolm came back from the dead without Ra's knowing. Not until Moira sends a message to Ra's to let him know that Malcolm is alive. I'm just speculating, that's all. That could be very good. If you think about it, Ra's decides to bring Tommy back to get Tommy facing off against Malcolm. Who knows? Maybe he does defeat Malcolm in some way, and then takes up the mantle of the Dark Archer, and then goes after Oliver. I'm just wetting my pants here, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. Right, we're going to do a little shift now. We're moving from DC. We're going over to a bit of Marvel now. We're going to first of all talk about, obviously, the big news that happened this week. Paul Rudd has been cast as AntMan. His name was bandied about for several months. A lot of people even wanted Paul Rudd to play the title character of AntMan as well, and he's got the gig. It was confirmed yesterday, even though the day before they were saying he got the job, but it still wasn't actually official. Not 100%, probably 95% of the time, but it has now been 100% confirmed by Marvel. Paul Rudd will be playing AntMan in the new movie that's due to come out shortly after the Avengers Age of Ultron is released. Now, Age of Ultron comes out in May of 2015. 2 months later, Ant-Man's going to kick off Phase 3 of Marvel's cinematic universe. So, interesting days ahead for Marvel, I have to say. They really are coming out at the seams at the moment. I know that DC are playing catch-up now. I still feel that what DC are doing is a good idea. Yes, it does feel rushed, and everybody's like saying, "Oh, well, you know, now they're just playing catch up, so that's why they're bringing their big three into one movie right now." But again, it's best that they do it this way rather than using Marvel's formula, because then everyone's going to be saying, "Oh, they're copying Marvel's formula." If they do it this way, if Warner's and DC do it this way, where they've done Man of Steel, now the sequel for Man of Steel, and this is the other thing that makes me sick and tired about the whole thing. People are saying that this new movie isn't going to be a sequel to Man of Steel. Well, actually, it is, because if you look at how Marvel's movies have been for their cinematic universe, you had Iron Man, and essentially Incredible Hulk was a sequel to Iron Man. Iron Man 2 was a sequel to Iron Man to Incredible Hulk. Thor was a sequel to Iron Man 2, and then Captain America a sequel to Thor, and then obviously the Avengers comes out, and then Iron Man 3 was the sequel to Avengers. So you look at the timeline of those films, each one is a direct sequel of the next, even though you've got Iron Man 1, 2 and 3, and then Thor and Thor the Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier, then Avengers Age of Ultron. But if you were to do it as a standalone, then yes, you could say 3 Iron Man movies, a sequel of one after the other. But if you look at it chronologically, then you would definitely say yes, each film has been released one after the other. Or in the case of Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2, they kind of do go in a sort of like a parallel line with each other as such. But yeah, so to say that this new film that's going to feature Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman isn't a sequel to Man of Steel, well, that's wrong, because it is. They're doing it, it's going to take place at the events after what happened in Man of Steel. Metropolis got destroyed by Superman and Zod. You know, we're going to see Bruce Wayne appear and Batman appear. Wonder Woman also is going to appear. They're going to be looking at, well, you know, this superpowered alien that has been living amongst us for you know, over 3 decades, and is now decided to show his face. What does this mean for the rest of the world? You know, that kind of thing. What effect has Superman's presence brought upon the world now? You know, that's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at the aftermath of what he has done, and how he as a character is going to evolve in terms of how he's going to become a better person and become that symbol of hope and light, you know, peace and all that sort of stuff for humanity. And then obviously you've got Lex behind the scenes, hopefully, you know, trying to degrade the alien, bring him down and say he's the start of an invasion, all this stuff, all that. You know, he's going to make sure that the destruction of Metropolis and the coming of Zod and his people, all that sort of stuff is going to make, I'm sure Lex is going to make sure that that is put onto the forefront of the, you know, civilians of Metropolis and the world, to say you can't trust this alien. That's my piece said on it, and I'm going to leave it at that. So yeah, I do think it is a sequel. It's a sequel. It's that simple. It is a Man of Steel sequel. It's not a different. Yes, it's going to be a different film, but it's still a sequel from Man of Steel. That's how you've got to see it. So don't you dare say it's not a Man of Steel sequel anymore. It's not going to be about Superman. Well, the main focus will still be Superman. You're just going to have other big characters in there. Get over it. It's that simple. So anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, AntMan's going to be the next. That's going to kick off Phase 3. Obviously next year, Guardians of the Galaxy and also Captain America: The Winter Soldier comes out. So those are Marvel's big 2. Obviously, X-Men: Days of Future Past. Now, news just came yesterday that Rogue's one and only scene in next year's film has been cut. It's a bit disappointing if you ask me. You know, I know that when Rogue first was you know, brought into the movies, she was seen as a teenager and other stuff. I know a lot of fans weren't happy about that take on the character. But to have her scene cut from the next movie, it's just, you know, it's strange, is all I can say. I know that it might feel probably irrelevant in some sense, but you know, I'm reading through the article, and even Brian does say that it was a bit extraneous, that they decided that it wasn't needed. Hopefully it's going to be kept for like the DVD Blu-ray release, so you know, we'll see it as a deleted scene, obviously, as we did with the Wolverine's alternate ending, where we see the actual costume in a suitcase, which was supposed to be the ending itself, but then it got changed. So yeah, it's strange that poor Anna Paquin is not going to be seen in X-Men: Days of Future Past. But who knows? We may then see her in the next X-Men movie. I still cannot believe that he actually did this. The next X-Men movie after Days of Future Past will be Apocalypse. When that tweet came out from Bryan Singer, I think the first person that reacted to it was Shawn Ashmore, aka the Iceman from X-Men, and he was like, "Whoa, really? Seriously?" And literally the entire internet just went totally crazy. And it was like, did he just say that? Did he just say Apocalypse? And then suddenly the whole entire place lit up like a Christmas tree, and it was just, we just couldn't believe it. He has confirmed that yes, X-Men Apocalypse will be coming in 2016. Not only that, but he's also brought on the 2 guys who made X2 really awesome, the writers, okay? He has brought them on to do the scripts for X-Men Apocalypse. He's definitely doing something right, I'll tell you right now. Singer's definitely doing something right. So yeah, let Fox keep the rights for X-Men, because they're doing a damn good job. I mean, First Class was amazing. If you had kicked off the X-Men franchise with First Class, then, you know, it's onto something awesome. It already is onto something awesome. You know, when the first X-Men movie came out, it was something interesting. Everybody sort of looked up and thought, okay, we've got something interesting. We've got something awesome here on our hands. Who knows where this is going to go. Hugh Jackman was made a star instantly, obviously, as Wolverine. Mystique looked amazing as well. You know, it really did bring a few platforms to a few characters. The 2 obviously being Mystique and Wolverine. Charles Xavier and also Magneto, played brilliantly by Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen respectively. Those 2 guys are just doing awesomeness right now, especially on the internet. They're winning the internet by drones. It's just unbelievable right now. So yeah, that's what's to come with X-Men. So looking forward to Days of Future Past next year, and obviously then Apocalypse. Oh my days, oh dear. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Oh dear. Saw the trailer for that. Awesome. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. Dane DeHaan. Can I just quickly say, when I saw him in Chronicle, I thought he was epically badass. But for the Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's upped. I think he's upped his level of villainy. To be honest, I think he has. Have you seen the way he portrays? How we can see how Harry Osborn is going to be like. He's menacing. He is vicious, and he's just. Oh my god, I can't even say anymore. I'm just too excited about it, to be honest. Because when the first movie came out, when there was news that obviously the first movie was going to be done, obviously I was against the idea that so soon after the last trilogy, a new version is coming out. I just wasn't happy about it. I saw the first trailer and I really hated it. I was like, what the hell is this? Why are we even doing this? Then, when I went to see Prometheus, I remember seeing there was a 6-minute exclusive introduction for Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, sorry, Amazing Spider-Man for the first one. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'll see. We'll see what it has. It did sort of pique my interest at that point. And when I saw the movie, well, if you watch my review, you'll know exactly what I thought of it. I really did enjoy it immensely, and it is only the second comic book movie that I have watched that actually made me cry. I just could, I couldn't hold back the tears as I was watching it. It's the bit where the guy whose kid he saved from the car that was hanging off the bridge, he helped Superman. He got all his Superman. Sorry. Oh Lord, I'm with it. I'm not with it here. He helped Spider-Man. He got all his friends to help Spider-Man to travel from one location to the Oscorp Tower, I believe it was at the time, using their cranes. And it was at that moment you saw all these people helping Spider-Man because this one guy, his kid, was saved by Spider-Man, and he thought, what better way to repay him than to help him get across the city, because he knew he wasn't going to make it there in time. And that just did it. Even right now as I'm talking about it, I'm just getting a huge wave of emotion, so ego. But yeah, the sequel is shaping up to be something awesome. We've obviously got Paul Giamatti as Rhino, as I said, Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, and of course the big villain being Jamie Foxx as Electro. There is a hint to the Sinister Six, to which point that Sony have actually now confirmed that there will be spin-offs for the Amazing Spider-Man universe, including not just the Sinister Six, aka, Vulture, Dr. Octopus, and a few others, but even none other than Venom. And I was just like, okay, you're going to do Venom? You better bring in Carnage, because Spider-Man was actually one of the first comic books that I ever read when I was about 12 years old. And the first villain that I read in the Spider-Man comic was Carnage. And I found him to be a really interesting character. He was so evil and so fucked up that I really enjoyed Carnage. He was just, wow. Never have I seen such a villain portrayed in such a way before that I was like, who the fuck is this dude? Why is he so fucked up like this? It was immense. So if you're going to bring in Venom, please bring in Carnage. I would love to see Venom and Carnage go at it together. That would definitely make my year if that ever happens. Please do. So that's interesting. As I say, spin-offs are afoot for the Amazing Spider-Man universe. So it's good to see that there's going to be a lot of comic book movies coming out. I don't even know how long it's going to be till the bubble has actually burst on superhero movies. We've had superhero movies since time began, basically, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Superman the movie was what really kicked it off. And then obviously Batman came out in '89, and ever since then, look what we've had. Some have been awesome, some have been not so good, others have been, we don't talk about them anymore. Catwoman, Jonah Hex, to name a few. Yeah, you know, we've had a variety of superhero movies over the years. You know, it's been interesting that it's just getting bigger and bigger. The universe is, for both Marvel and DC, are just getting bigger and bigger, and I don't think at any point the bubble is going to burst, because even in another 30 years we're still going to see comic book movies being released. You know, it's going to keep happening, and whether we like it or not, there's going to be a reboot. Okay, Spiderman in particular, I think even XMen as well, obviously Superman and Batman, they're all going to get rebooted, whether we like it or not. So in another 30 years we're going to see a new take on Superman. In another 30 years we're going to need to see a new take on X-Men. We're going to need to see a new take on Spider-Man, Batman, Wonder Woman, hopefully The Flash. Excuse me, if he ever gets kicked off the ground in terms of movies as well. It's going to happen whether we want it or not. So there you have it. So I'm going to start closing off now. As I say, I know I've been rambling a bit anyway as things are going on. Comic book wise, I just want to quickly say there's only one thing I want to talk about in terms of the comics, and I actually have to show you it as well. Now, if you didn't know, the Legion of Superheroes are no more. DC have decided to cancel their run entirely, which I'm not happy about. I really miss the Legion. So what did they decide to do? They decided instead to replace the Legion with Justice League 3000. Okay. When I heard about it, I was like, oh God, why? What are they doing? What's going on here? Why are they doing this? But I thought to myself, let's give it a chance. Okay. I heard that these characters appear before the Legion are even, you know, born as such. So I think it's about, I don't know, maybe about 100 years before the Legion appears. It could be less than that. I don't know. It could be 50 years. It could even be 25 years. Who knows? So I thought, alright, I'll give it a shot. Do you know what? I read half of it, got bored. Never ever am I even going to dare pick up another issue of Justice League 3000 ever again. I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that DC could have ever have made. You know, getting rid of the beloved Legion of Superheroes. Why? I love the Legion. The Legion are just amazing. I think, when did I first hear about the Legion of Superheroes? I first learned about them in it might have been in one of the stories of Superman that I've read over the years, and I just to hear that they're no longer going to be. Who knows? Maybe they might bring them back in another year or two. But Justice League 3000 was just pointless, absolutely pointless, ridiculous. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say in terms of comics. Smallville is still going strong. Here's the latest of Alien, as you can see. That's the latest print edition, capturing the first 3 issues of Smallville, Alien. So it's still going really well. Batgirl is amazing. I've stopped reading Batwoman for the case that both, obviously, the creators of that, J.H. Williams and Hayden as well, they're no longer part of the no longer doing the story, because DC decided they didn't want Kate and Maggie to get married. Go figure. So so I've stopped reading that. I've also stopped reading Aquaman because Jeff Johns is no longer on the project, and he has done so well. He's made Aquaman an amazing character. You know, everyone used to take the piss out of Aquaman, but Jeff Johns did something awesome for him. The same way that he did for Barry Allen, the same way that he did for Hal Jordan. He has just put the character right up there with the rest of them, with Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and Flash and Green Lantern. He has basically done that with Aquaman. He has made him feel more important. But now that he's no longer on it, I've decided I'm not gonna. There's no point in me reading the story anymore. But I know that there's going to be a crossover next year with Aquaman and the Justice League, because the Seven Seas. There's going to be a battle of the Seven Seas apparently. So we'll see. Maybe when that crossover comes on, I'll probably read just those particular stories when that comes along. Apparently there's something big coming next year in comics about, I know I said I was only going to talk about Justice League 3000, but now that I'm going on, I might as well just continue. There's going to be a big event taking place next year, from about July onwards. I've completely forgotten what the event is. All I know is that we're going to see a sort of like a Zero first issue for Free Comic Book Day in May next year, and I think Jim Lee is going to be part of it as well in terms of doing the artwork, and I think it is Justice League related again, but I cannot remember what it was, so I do apologise. I can't remember what the story is. If anyone has any ideas who knows what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments below, because as I say, I've completely forgotten. So yeah, excuse me. Anyway, I think I am going to wrap it up there, but if you have sat this long and you've been watching all this time, good lord, you're bored, or you've just got nothing better to do. That's as simple as that. But anyway, seriously, I think it's great that I've been able to actually get this video done to talk about some of the things that have caught my attention over the past sort of few months, few weeks, whatever you want to put it. So yeah, this is probably going to be the last sort of video that I'll do for 2013, I believe, unless it's a Smallville review that's probably going to be next. I don't know, but if this is my last video for 2013, all I've got to say is hope you have a wonderful Christmas, holiday, whatever you're doing, and New Year as well, and we'll see you back in 2014 for, obviously, for Arrow, for more Smallville, Arrow character spotlights, movie reviews as well. I am going to try and kick off some comic book reviews as well next year. I know so many people have been asking me when am I going to do some more comic book reviews. Amongst them will obviously be the new Batman, Superman. We're going to do the first 6 issues in the new year, and then obviously Superman and Wonder Woman as well. When we reach issue 6 of that one, I'll kick off those reviews as well. I think I'm only just going to do the first 6 issues, and also Superman Unchained as well. So when I get the 6th issue of that and I've read that, again, we'll do the first 6 issues on review for that. So there will be comic book reviews coming in 2014, people. Just hold your horses. I know you've all been waiting, so do apologise. Just, it's coming, okay? Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Have a great Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!